Welcome back to another week of my mounting yard preview. My name's Bella Anderson, I'm Betfair's mounting yard analyst, and we're focusing this week on Easter racing at Sandown. It's going to be a really good card. I think there's a few very even races. I think the mounting yard's going to be absolutely crucial, but I've gone through my database and there are plenty of notes, so make sure you're jotting down these key important information on runners from the yard. Race 4 is a 1400 metre event, benchmark 70, and a few hot horses in this field, so note down that it's completely normal for Voltan, Blood Oath and our Lone Star to parade warm and toey. Don't be deterred if you see these gallopers up and about in this mounting yard. Sandy Prince, look to see him relaxed. This is when he performs his best. North Star, General Firepower, they're two horses that I've really liked their most recent parades. They're hard fit and should be in winning order for this. And Do It La, for me, is the interesting runner in this field. I think her mounting yard is going to be really important on Saturday. Both her parades this prep have been below her best. I really liked her deep into her prep last campaign, and I don't know, she just hasn't been looking her best this time in. She's had a bit of a dull coat. She's been really holding on to her weight. She's getting a bit warm, gotten a bit toey, and I'm really looking to see improvement from her here third up. The other question mark for me is she's had the 4 weeks between runs, so that's just going to be a real query for that fitness, considering how much improvement she had to come from her 2 parades this time in. So Do It La is the big question mark for me in this race. Race 6 for the 3-year-olds over the mile, and there are 3 horses under double figures who all looked like winning chances last start: Loco, Gringotts and Dashing. Gringotts is the one I wanted to highlight here. I've seen him at 3 of his 4 career starts, and he has just made such significant improvement with each outing and each run under his belt. Last start, it's the best he's ever looked. I love the improvement he continues to make, and on type, he's going to absolutely relish the rise in distance. He's very athletic, lovely, loose, supple stride, and deep into his prep, he's going to be hard fit. But the key with Gringotts is look to see him really conserving his energy pre-race. Earlier on in the prep, he had a tendency to get a little bit above himself, but with racing, he's really settled down, and with the rise and trip, I definitely want to see Gringotts conserving his energy pre-race. And then for 2 gallopers, Red Sun Sensation and Powerful Eagle, very normal for these gallopers to be toey and warm. This doesn't impact their performance and is very normal characteristics for those 2. Race 7, one of the feature events on the card at Sandown, the Group 3 over the 1400 metres. And for me, this is the most fascinating mounting yard of the day. 3 runners, all under double figures in the markets, were all laid last start from the mounting yard. So I'm going to be wanting to see significant improvement from Ayrton, Pinstriped and Lady of Honour. It's fascinating yard because, like I said, laid them all last start, did not like their parades at all. I think Ayrton ran up to his parade. He was really below expectations. Lady of Honour was okay. Pinstriped surprised me, so don't be too concerned if you see him a little bit toey, a little bit warm, and he always naturally holds weight. That's Pinstriped, totally normal. But Ayrton, Lady of Honour, really want to see relaxed parades from them, fitter parades from them, and just brighter, stronger parades in general for those 2 runners. The manner in which Buffalo River returns is going to be really interesting. Clemenceau coming down from Sydney is going to be really interesting to see how she looks. And 2 horses I really like the chances of are Cardinal Gem and Not an Option. Both of these horses have been parading really well their last few starts. Not an Option was a great winner last start, and Cardinal Gem, typical of the stable, he's been looking at his peak his last few, so they're 2 I really like from a preview point of view because the others have such question marks. And Frankie Pino is another one. He returned in such good order first up. He's a horse that previously normally takes a few runs to get fit, but he was really forward returning this campaign. He's the brightest I've seen him earlier on in a prep, and at current price, he's double figures, and I think he definitely looks over the odds at the moment. But race 7, the yard on the day, is going to be really crucial. Race 8 is the Easter Cup, Group 3 over the 2100 metres, and I'm really excited for this rate. We've got some really good stays in it as well, considering it is a Group 3. Right you are, the horse that's looking to win 6 races in a row. He's here off a 4-week freshen, obviously scratched from last start, so really interested to see the condition on him returning after only a 4-week freshen, and from the mile used to stable, I expect him to be hard fit, still ready for this. He's been consistently parading so well. He's been really bright. He's shown no signs of training off as well. And I think the team just showing their masterclass training, giving him a little bit of a freshen up before heading into this Group 3 competition. And I think he's going to be really ready for this. Luna Flair, third up here. She's had really significant fitness improvement to come from both her first and second up parades. Here, third up, she's a bit of a question mark for mine, just because she had such significant fitness improvement to come. Barbrader and Horrifying, they're two other horses that have really needed the first few runs of their prep under their belt, and they've really benefited from these runs. They've made good improvement. So here, they're both going to be ready now. White Marlin, he is the fascinating horse of the field. He's returning, he's undefeated, looking for making it 6 career starts for 6 wins and a beautiful grey. I think when there's a chance there's going to be rain, so the wet track is going to be right in his favour, and I think you've just got to trust the stable in having him forward enough for this. Only the 2100 metres, we know he can stretch out over further as well, but the manner in which he returns is going to be really important for the race favourite. And a soft spot of mine is Sparkle. I've loved seeing the progression this Japanese mare has made her first campaign in Australia. She has just made such drastic improvements every time she's turned out to the races. At the start of her Australian campaign, she was so hot. She got really fizzed up in the mounting yard. She was warm, toey, worked up, used a lot of nervous energy. She was holding on to a bit of a dull coat, but each time she's turned up, she's continued to look better and better. And last start, she looked immaculate. She was covered in dapples. She was glowing in the coat. She really settled down. She trimmed up. She just started ticking all of the boxes, and she's really acclimatized and just found lengths. I think she's now looking to make it 3 wins in a row. Rise in distance is going to suit her as well. And the key for her, I think now, because she has settled, look to see her again relaxed, conserving her energy, not too warm. I think they're going to be the telltale signs that she hasn't tailed off and that it's not the end of her campaign. So look to see her nice and relaxed and dappled up, because that's when she's been performing her best. Final event on the card, race 9, a benchmark 84 over the mile, and there are 3 horses you can certainly back with confidence in the early markets: Daytona Bay, El Rocco and Daily Bugle. All 3 have been parading at their peak their last few starts. They're just box tickers in the mounting yard. They're all pretty straightforward customers, and they're 3 that you can certainly get on pre-race, because I know how they're going to look on the weekend. 2 important notes as well to jot down. It's really normal for both Monarch of Egypt and Sirius Liaison to get a little bit hot and up and about in the mounting yard. Very typical parades for these 2, and they perform well doing this, so make sure you jot those down. Well, that's it for this weekend's mounting yard preview of racing at Sandown on Saturday. Hopefully everyone's learnt a few things and taken some notes on what to look for at the yard on Saturday.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.